Jamal Nyers here with Tony McGregor. You've been supporting SBG tonight. How have you found the night?
The night was fabulous. There was a great card tonight, and SBG did very well, as was expected. I expected the fighters to do well, and John Kavanagh and the boys back at base again. You know, they give a home run tonight. An excellent night of fighting.
I'm guessing you have a personal investment in all the SBG fighters. One that should have been main event tonight was James Gallagher.
Yeah.
Did you offer some words to him? You know, Conor's been through that same situation himself, hasn't he, with the long-term injury?
Long-term injury is always difficult in any sport. It's one of the, you know, it's one of the, you know, it comes with the territory. It's not easy when you get hit with an injury for any athlete, particularly harder for a full-on contact sport athlete. You know, he'll overcome that. He knows what he has to do. He will overcome that and come back stronger.
How great is it seeing Conor, you know, nurture young talent now? You know, he's obviously been there. He's had people look after him and make him into the superstar he is today. How great is it for you as a father to see him give back to young talent like James?
It's always great to see that. You know what I mean? What can I say? You know, Conor has garnered so much from his support and his close circle around him, and to give something back to, you know, to upcoming athletes is a great thing to see, a great thing to witness as well.
Let's fast forward, rewind back to 3 years or so ago. I remember meeting Conor in Manchester. He wasn't even fighting. It was during this injury period time. Machida versus Mudon's card.
Yeah, I remember it.
And I was actually waiting to meet him, and we were told that we weren't allowed to meet him. And he made his way to say, you know, he stopped to other people and said, you know, I'll come and meet you. And he's always been a generous
with his time.
Generous, lovely guy. Back then, did you see all of this? What it's become? The film's just been released last week. It's been unprecedented.
Who could envisage that sort of global stardom? We all knew we had something special in the early days. You know, to come this far in a sport and to be the standard bearer in a country that the sport was virtually unknown. It was regarded as a minor, you know, sort of sport. To bring that to the fore, to bring it to mainstream, that's particularly poignant for me. For my son to bring that to mainstream is very poignant.
I mean, it must have been a pinch yourself moment when he was stood face to face with Floyd Mayweather this past summer. I'm guessing Conor was growing up watching Floyd's fights as a fan. I'm guessing you were too.
Didn't we all grow up and watch him?
Exactly, yeah. Was it? Can you still not believe that event happened? It was the #1 fight in combat sports history and one of the biggest pay-per-views ever. Yeah. I mean, it was the biggest pay-per-view ever.
It was the biggest pay-per-view ever. Also, you know, it was a pinch me moment. It happened, you know, it happened because of business acumen, and back in the dressing room, that's what we toasted. We toasted the fight business. A lot of guys are in the fight game. 95+% of fighters are in the fight game. Yeah. Conor McGregor is in the minority of athletes who are in the fight business. When we go back to the dressing room, no matter what the result is, we always toast the fight business. That day and that evening back in the dressing room for us was a victory because we toasted the fight business.
Did he always have this business mindset to combat sports? And have you played any part in nurturing this within him? Where's he got this from? Because he's basically set a standard that other fighters look up to now.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think it was inherent, probably not from me. I never saw this. I never saw the acumen. It's definitely there. It's very acutely there. You know, he has it. He expands on it. He works with it. He develops it. And it's like everything he puts his hand to. You know, he brings it to the max. He's at the top of his game. What
was the proudest moment? I know there's been a lot, but what was a moment where you felt emotional, where you couldn't believe it was happening? There's been so many.
Yeah, there has been so many. You know, MSG was a very, you know, with the first fight in New York and Madison Square Garden, that was very, you know, the atmosphere there was surreal. That brought the hairs in the back of my neck standing out. He was presented with an award in UCD, University College Dublin, from the Economic Social group in the university. That was a very proud moment for me as a father. Who wouldn't like to see their son or daughter be presented with the university accolade? That was proud to me as well.
Now, finally, Dana White has said that Conor could be fighting at the end of this year. Do you know anything about this? And could it possibly be Tony Ferguson? The fans have been clamouring for this fight. That is an amazing fight. That makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Well, there you go. Dana White, I don't know anything about the fight. I'm like the fans when it comes to the fight, because there's so much negotiations. Back to the acumen again. It's business.
Yeah.
I'm the last person to know. I do know before it's released. At this juncture in time, I don't know. But when it does happen, it will be a fan's delight.
Well, it's a pleasure speaking to you,
And
Tony.
you too.
Thanks a lot. Thank